Hey, it's IdkWhatsRc, and this is the introduction video of my new series about my video game. So for those who don't know, I'm currently making a video game myself with the software RPG Maker VX. So I've already uploaded a couple videos about my game. If you want to try out the combat beta, then simply click the link in the description to download my game. So obviously it's only the first version. I'm currently upgrading it to have a real storyline, because it was only the combat beta that I've uploaded. Anyway, it's not really the point of this video. I will talk about few general aspects of making a video games, and one of the most important one is the maps. So this is, for example, my second village. It's called Mellow. It's a very big village. As you can see, there is a little castle, a lot of little houses. I even got a church right here. So yeah, making a big map like this can take a lot of time, but I will simply show you the basics on how to make a little map. So let's create a new map. First of all, there are 5 different layers. Here there are tiles. They are called tile set. So first of all, you want to use the first one, for example, grass. You simply click there and everything will be grass. Then, I don't know, I want to add tall grass, like in Pokemon. So I simply put that here, and then I add, I don't know, a tree. So as you can see, it's very easy to make maps. Obviously, if you want to make a good map, then it can be very hard. I don't know, I will put random things. So yeah, it's very easy. You can change the settings, so you go over the tile or below the tile, or things like that. You can change it very easily. So making map is very fast. If you want to make, I will simply do a little example on how to make a map inside. So you want to put, let's say, here. Then I will add the floor. For example, this will be my super house. Then you want to add the walls, something like this. Oh yeah, I forgot the entrance. And then you simply add random things. So as you can see, it's very, very easy, and anybody can actually make a decent house and maps with this software compared to other softwares. Anyway, I won't really make a big house there, just to show you a little bit how easy it is. Okay, so let's say something like that. You put actually anything you want. Let's show you, for example. So this is a house I've already made, and this is the second floor. Now let's talk a little bit more about events. So for example, when you are in this map and you want to go to the other map, it doesn't do it automatically. You need to actually tell the computer what's going on. So right there you can see there is a square, and actually it's an event. So basically what it says is that when it will touch a player, it will do this list of commands. So first of all, it will teleport the player to this Miller apartment 2, second floor, and this is the position, and then it will move left. So it feels more natural. Obviously, it's not really needed. So basically, as soon as the player touches this, he will be teleported here and will do a step out. So yeah, that's the very basics of doing things like that. Obviously, you can go into more complex things. Let's say in my combat beta, my village right here, there is this old man. First of all, when you talk with him, it will say that the path is too dangerous and you need to find the summoning charms. But after actually completing and getting all the summoning charms, you don't want the same text to appear. So this is when you will use variables and switch. So there is the switch 129 that represent the charm HP. So basically the amount of charms you have collected. And when this value is equal to 33, which is the maximum, then it will say something else. So bravo, you have completed the quest. So this is very important to make games, so have switch and variables. But I won't really go into detail in this video because it can be very complex. This is only a very easy example of something like that. Maybe another one, just a random speech. So you simply say, let's say I will create a new guy. So I say new event. I choose the graphics. I want to be a aqua goblin, and he will say hi. And that's it. You have just made a guy that doesn't move, but I could, I don't know, say that it moves randomly, or you approach me, or I can do it custom, so it follow a path like I've done with my guards. So for example, this guard turns around the city to guard it. So he has a custom thing, and yeah, it's very easy to make. Obviously it can be very complex at the same time if you want to do something tricky, like my puzzle, for example. I don't know if you guys remember, I've uploaded that a while ago. Basically actually I will show you in-game, so it can be more, I don't know, easier to understand. So let's show you a basic example of what switch and things like that can do. So let's say this is me, I can move. If I activate this switch, then all the red things will go lower, all the red things that were already lowered became high. So for example, this is a little puzzle, very easy. I simply go activate this, this, and this, and I can go here. Oh shit, like that. So yeah, it's not really a puzzle, but anyway, I've done real puzzle after that, and if you want to test it out, simply check the link in the description. So now let's move on to the database. So first of all, there is the maps that you need to do. Second of all, there is all the different events. So every time you want a player to talk, well, an NPC to talk, you need to do it, and quests you also need to do it. But there is also the database that you need to work on, and this can become very tricky. So first of all, there is the actor. I only have 2 of them. Well, actually a third one right here, but it's kind of hard to explain. I'm using a strip, but I will talk about that later. Basically I have 2 main characters. I can change the leveling. For example, at level 5 it will have 770 HP, and it's very easy to custom for what you need. There is the class, so if you want a certain character to have certain skills and can have weapons or things like that. Skills, very tricky to make, especially if you want to make them if you want to have a lot of them, and if you don't want them to be all the same, or simply an upgrade version and the player simply use the best one all the time. Items, weapon, you need to set them yourself. Currently using a spreadsheet on Excel to actually calculate the attack, so it's easier to make them. Or more enemies. Enemies can be very tricky to make. Personally, I'm using a strip that yeah, it's kind of hard to explain, but I got tons of monsters with each different levels, so battles are always balanced and they are varied. Anyway, troops. So yeah, with the enemies you can put them together to make troops, but once again I'm using a certain script, so it doesn't really apply. So for example, I can make an enemy that will be a spider, and then I make an enemy that's a bat, but when I want the player to battle them, I want to have, for example, 3 spider and 2 bats. So this is what the troops allow me. States, paralyze, poison, and things like that. Also use the states to actually increase my stats. So yeah, it's kind of hard. Animation can be very tricky to make. They are already default animation. I highly recommend to use them because it's very tricky to make them yourself. And finally, the system term that it's not really important, and the common events. So this is a big part of video game. Actually, everything I've made is there, so it's very hard. I won't really go into the detail. I got tons of common even. So basically this is all the different variables when you start the game. This is what happens when you win a game, and you can call common even. So this is not the only thing you do when there is a victory condition. So first of all, for example, my familiar is totally recover, and then you're currently not in battle, the battle run is 0, a lot of things. Then I need to call the monster drops, and then give experience and things like that. But I won't really go into the detail in this video, maybe in another one, so I can explain you how I made a monster, the special abilities, how I managed to set the troops, so when you're, for example, in a volcano, you have more chance of fighting fire monster instead of water monster, for example. And yeah, that's pretty much it about common events and the database. And finally, sorry, this script. So this is a very important feature of RPG Maker VX. So the regular default combat system is really bad in RPG Maker VX. You really need to, well, you don't need to change it, but personally I prefer to change it for the GTBS script that I'm using. It's a very complex script. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but yeah, it's totally not like the default one, and you need to import a lot of script. So basically what a script is well, basically when the game runs, it will call and see those scripts. For example, the max amount of members is 4 right now, but if I want, I can change it for 6 in one click if I want. So you can modify the scripts, so you can do things that the software isn't made for, but it still works. It's made for that. So for example, very easy things, let's say armor resistance. So the default resistance calculation isn't really good, so I've changed it with this little script, and basically now the resistance is multiplied instead of only summed up, so it's better in my opinion. You can custom the experience instead of having simply a linear thing. You can add weather, fog, and a lot of things. For example, passive skills and my skill management system. So if you want a custom window when you press a button, and if you want a custom window, I don't really know how to explain it, but yeah, I won't really go, like I've said probably 1,000 times already in the detail in this video, because this is a huge project and there is a lot of things to do. I don't want the video to last 10 minutes. Well, probably it will last 10 minutes, but I don't want it to last 1 hour. Anyway, so yeah, this is the main parts of making a video guide. I hope you like this little video, and I plan to make more detailed and more educational videos about making a video. So I've just simply tell you what's the basics, so what are the different elements, but it can become very complex. We'll also put the link where you can get the software RPG Maker VX if you want to try it out. And yeah, that's pretty much it. See ya!